actually closing ratio. I believe that sales is a very important job, that we are paramount people in this industry. Nothing happens until somebody sells something. So the idea with this sale is maybe you will get a couple of things, maybe you will get a couple of things out of these training. I call them AH-HAAAS. They're things that you probably have been doing already, but maybe you forgot to keep doing them. Now, when I got into this business, my grandmother told me this. Find out what successful people do, Tom, and do what they do.
Well, that makes sense to me. Does
that make sense? So what I did is I went out and I found out what other successful people did in other companies, even my competitors. I went on some of their presentations. I had them come to my house. I listened to what they did and what was making them successful. If you find out what successful people do and you do what they do, more than likely you too will be successful. Some disclaimer about this power selling program. First of all, nothing here is original. I'm sorry, nothing comes from me. It all comes from other people that have been in this industry for a very long time, and these are the things that have worked for them. So that being said, let's go on to...
Donna, a question for you, though. I see this LFB after your name. What does the LFB mean, Donna?
Thanks for asking, Tom. I'm a salesperson, LSB. I've had some very interesting things that people come from that. One said, literally full of baloney. I became sales manager later, so that wasn't a really good idea for him to say that. But I'm a salesperson. I'm LSB. I am looking for business. That's what I'm doing.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. So let's go into what the creation of a salesperson is all about. You know, salespeople are not made, or they're made. They're not born. No one has a 6-pound, 7-ounce baby and says, "Oh, look at this salesperson." It just doesn't happen. And really great ones are trained. That's things I've learned from successful people. They have to be trained, and obviously everybody that's tuned in today, they must be truly great ones because they're here for training. They say that knowledge is power. The more knowledge that you have, the more knowledge that you can give to other people, the more power you have in salesmanship. So they set goals. It's interesting to me that people will have a 2-week vacation and plan 8 months for it, but for their goals for their life, for the rest of the 50 years, they don't make any plans. So they have to set goals, and you're willing to pay the price. And what's the price? This is hard work. To be a salesperson is one of the hardest jobs that there is. What I hopefully am going to show to you today is how to make this a little bit easier. So we've come to successful through hard work, not by heritage. There is no silver spoon in this thing. You have to work hard at this. The hardest part about the sale, we can teach how to be a salesperson, but finding the person. A salesperson without a prospect is a salesperson without a job. Does that make sense to you, Tom?
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because if you don't have anyone to talk to, you don't have anybody to sell, do you?
It's pretty fundamental.
Absolutely. So let's go to the art of prospecting. And you're going to type in some of these little answers. So prospecting is the art, and everyone will agree with me. You have to be finding the people. That's what we talk about, finding the people. And then, Tom, right after that, put enough people, because we need the right people. We need enough people. We also need to find the right people. You know, there's a lot of people, but if they're not the right people, they're not going to be the people that you're going to sell to. Who are right people, Tom? The people that have money. Right, they're the right people.
Ooh.
These right people are the people that have money and they have authority. How many times have you gone on a sale, all of a sudden they don't have the money? No money, no sale. You have to have the money. And if they don't have the authority, you're talking to the wrong person. So you have to find the right person. Of course, you have to do things besides just talking to one person. You have to talk to a lot of people. So you have to join clubs. You have to join organizations. You have to be active in the community. But let's give you a little warning here. When you go to these clubs and these organizations, you're not going there just to, be social. You're going there to be active, to find a prospect. If I come out of a club or organization and not have a prospect, as far as I'm concerned, I just wasted my time. You find what we call centers of influence. You know what a center of influence is? Well, this is your doctor, this is your lawyer. This is people that actually have influence over other people in order for you to, they will give you the names and then you can sell them. Does it make sense to you, Tom?
It makes sense.
Yeah. So, you know, you have to talk to your doctors, your lawyers. Other people you have to find are people that have been broken into. These are people that have needs, people that had fire, people that have, something's been stolen from their house, even something's been stolen from the front house, maybe into the car. These are people that have needs, and now you know that they have the needs, then you can go ahead and you can build the desire with it. Then prospecting, AH-HAAAS, probably things that you already know, but I just want to go over them again. Tom, there's something that we call the 3-foot rule.
The 3-foot rule.
Yeah.
I used that just myself the other day, Don. I
Did
got
you?
a brand new prospect for us by using the 3-foot rule.
Okay, tell them what the 3-foot rule is.
He was standing about 2 feet away from me. I stuck out my hand and said, "Hi, I'm Tom Piston." We changed cards. We have a new dealer prospect here just because I used the 3-foot rule.
That's fantastic. Anytime you're within 3 foot of anyone, you have to tell them what you do for a living. You could be gassing your car up at the gas station, see somebody that has a really cool Mercedes or a vintage car, and the 3-foot rule is, hey, what do you have protecting the car? I'm in the alarm business. That's done that. Let's go. The next one is similar businesses. Similar businesses are people that are in the same business that you are, but not in the security part of it. For example, people that have been broken into, one of the first people they need is, if their door's been broken into, they need a door. So people that sell doors, people that sell windows, people that sell fire extinguishers, all those people are people that are in the same business that you can actually their customers and make them your customers, and then you can give your customers and make them their customers. Okay, about existing customers. I'm going to talk so much about this, you can probably get sick of it. But you know what? Existing customers is the key. People already know your company. They already like your company. They already have your product. These are the people. Can you put an 80% after that? If you talk to these people of existing customers, you will sell 8% of their referrals. I mean, isn't that just, I mean, why wouldn't you go to talk to existing customers? There's another prospecting AH-HAAAS that people don't remember or don't think about. I think it's very obvious. It's family and friends. What people say to me, Tom, oh, I don't want to tell my family or my friends about it because they'll think I'm pushing it.
Are they ashamed of it?
Well, no, I'm not positively sure what their rationale is, because the actual about this is, if one of your friends got broken into or their house burned down to the ground and you didn't tell them about the alarm system, I think they'd be a little ticked off at you, don't you?
It just might be.
Absolutely. So you have to at least tell your family and friends all about your business. The social media. I wish we had social media when I started this business. I would have been more successful. Because social media, all you have to do is sit in your office, sit in front of your television, and do Facebook. Do you have a Facebook page? We used to have something called testimonial books where people would say, oh, yes, we bought our alarm system from her and it was really great. Now you can do it in a way on social media, and Facebook, Twitter, whatever. You are the security person and you have to make yourself into that.
And that kind of goes back to working with your existing customers about getting them to like your Facebook page. That then puts your company on their wall for their family and friends to see who you are.
Absolutely.
So it works. Social media is a great tool for the alarm company.
And of course, obviously, people are going to look in the newspapers or places on in their iPads or different websites and things like that to find people that have been broken into. There's this cool website, and it's called crimereports.com. And you don't even have to do any it's reports, P-O-T-S.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not a good typer.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
okay. Crimereports.com. What you do when you go into somebody's house, or actually before you go into the house, go to crimereports.com. It will tell you every single thing that's happening in the neighborhood. I was on a sales call not too terribly long ago in Washington, D.C. We bought crimereports.com. The lady wanted to sign the page before we even told her what it was all about. She had so much crime around her. It's our responsibility as salespeople to let people know what is happening in their neighborhoods, which also brings to the point, what about a sexual predator? In the state of Maryland, we have a website that you can actually go to, and they'll tell you who is a sexual offender in your area. And it's very interesting. They put a little bullseye, just like we have right there on the left of our screen, a little bullseye right there that says sexual predator, here, and you live here. Now, why do you think a sexual offender registry would be important, Tom? Do you have any idea?
Well, I think it kind of gives you some information as to who's there and who might put your own latchkey kids at risk.
Right. One problem is if you have a child that comes home from school and you're not at home, what we can do is we can provide an alarm system that will let you know when your child comes home from school, or more important, when the child doesn't come home from school. You even have a picture of the child walking into the house, along with the other kids, right, that are coming into the house. These are things that
Wait a
you're
minute,
probably...
you can see the other kids coming into the house?
Yeah.
If my daughter's bringing her boyfriend home? Ooh.
People buy alarm systems for all different reasons, and that's a good reason. These are prospective AH-HAAAS, probably things you already do. You did them so well you forgot doing them. So I'm hoping I'm kind of juggling your memory a little bit. Presentation. Well, a presentation is, now I have to tell people about my company. You earn the right to give the presentation, and we'll talk about that through time here. If your prospect doesn't pay attention to you, Tom, you're finished at the start. It is vital to get the prospect's attention. So how are you going to get the prospect's attention? You're going to do it through your presentation and your demonstration. First, let me tell you what a presentation is and why a planned presentation. The difference between a planned presentation and a canned presentation is this: hello, my name is, this is what I do, blah, blah. It's not like that at all. We have scripts for presentations. We have scripts for demonstrations. Everybody's going to say the same thing all the time, but you have to have a plan. For example, when I'm coming into the house, what I do is I say, Mr. Prospect, what I'm going to do first is tell you about the company. I'm going to ask you a few questions. I'm going to show you how the alarm system works. I'm going to walk in the house, and we can design a system that fits your specific needs together, and together we'll get you protected. How does that sound to you?
That sounds great.
That sounds fine.
It really helps you build your confidence, doesn't it, Donna?
You're absolutely right. You have to build your confidence in one of this, and if you have it all down in a plan, you have it. The reason this is good is it makes you a good listener, because if you know what you're going to say, you can take the time to listen to what your prospect is going to say. My grandmother used to say, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Please use them in proportion. And there's so much of what the customer is going to say because we're so interested in what we're going to say. So this also, it keeps you on track. So where you're going. You know how sometimes we kind of get off track, Tom, and talk about other things.
Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. All of this, the plan presentation, the plan demonstration, all of this does one thing. It draws, which is the logical conclusion, which is why in there in the first place. And the logical conclusion, Tom, is that it is. It is. It's the sale.
Close sale.
Okay, that's what the logical conclusion to all of this. And everything is you're building up to. Now, I teach you how to be 100% closer right here. You want to be 100% closer?
100% closer?
Are you 100% closer?
No.
No. And you know what? I'm not 100% closer either. I don't really know a whole lot of people that are, but this is the formula to be 100% closer. And this is why people buy from you. And the first reason they're L is because they like you. Have you bought anything from somebody that you don't like?
No, in fact, I've sometimes bought something I wanted just because I didn't like the person trying to sell it to me.
Exactly. Now, this is hard because I can't tell you how to get someone to like you. I can tell you some reasons why they're not going to like you. But one thing I do know about like is if you can get them to laugh, then they like you. But you find some common ground for them to like you. Or if you walk into the house, you see a picture of maybe the ugliest baby you ever saw, and you say, oh, wow, nice looking baby.
Anything to get that bond going.
Right. Why people buy from you? Because you listen to them. People be listened to. If you listen to them, they will do exactly how to sell them. They also have to believe what you tell them. So you have to have a credible presentation, a credible demonstration. You can't be telling them wild things. They have to believe what you say, and boom, boom, there it goes by. So if they like you, they listen to you, they will believe, they will buy. That's how to make you 100% close.
LLBB, I like it.
Like that? Cool. The word wow. This is how you get people to really...
Wow, that's a beautiful-looking baby.
Wow, that's a beautiful-looking baby.
I like it.
You know, when you're selling something, unfortunately, you can't have an opinion. You can't have a religion. You can't have a political affiliation. You can only have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You're listening to what the customer says, and you're saying, wow. For example, I used to teach down on the eastern shore of Maryland. I'd walk into the house. There on the wall would be dead animals. Yeah, the deer, the boar. And one person even had a stuffed bear in their house. It was really kind of unsettling to me. And
I remember Donna was a city girl through and through.
I was born and raised in Washington, D.C., so what I said, wow. This is a wonderful word for salespeople to use. When you don't have anything else to say now, wow is the word to use.
And Doug, you told me many years ago, is never try to one-up your prospect. It doesn't matter if you do something better than they do.
No, you know what? If they have a garden, they have a much better garden than you do. You know, if they draw better than you. If they, whatever they do better than you, and you wish you could do it too. This is how to get people to like you, Tom.
Fantastic.
Okay.
All right.
Now, I got to sell this party here because I'm not positively sure a lot of salespeople do this. I think they do it, but they don't realize they do it. But you have to sell by asking people questions, not by telling them things. Nobody likes to be told things. You have to learn how to ask questions. In a selling situation, there's only one person that could tell you what he or she needs. And who is that person? That person is the prospect. People don't always buy alarm systems, camera systems, for the reasons that we want them to. If we ask them the questions that answer, for example, if I'm doing a walk around and I say, is this, before I even do the walk around, I would say in my questionnaire, let me ask you, what window do you think a burglar would break into? Tell me the window, all right? That's just information I'm getting. And afterwards, when I'm doing the walk around, I say, so this is the window that you said that a burglar would break into?
So they identified the problem, not you.
Absolutely. You would want to protect this window, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, they're the ones that told me that there was somebody to break into it, for heaven's sake. So what, ask questions. You have to ask questions to create interest in things. You know, you have to find out what your prospect is interested in. You know what? The person asking questions is always in control. Don't you agree, Tom?
Donna.
You see?
Oh.
Yeah. This is where you have to determine the prospect's wants and their needs. Most might get what you want, but you get what you need.
You make that.
Yeah. Also ask questions to compliment your prospect on their knowledge. For example, let me ask you, Mr. Customer, what do you think about this chime system on our, the chime we have on our system? I hate that. I don't want a bing bang all the time going in when I walk in and out the door. That's great. You know what that does? That tells me you can just turn that off. Would that suit your needs? Yes, it would. Okay. To find an issue you can both agree on. Maybe they have a dog. Well, the issue is, what is the dog going to do when there's a fire? You know, it looks like a smart dog, but when the smoke detectors go off, one of the differences between our smoke detectors and the smoke detectors that you have is they'll call the fire department for you. Now, you would want that to happen for little Smokey here. You wouldn't want him to get burnt in a fire, wouldn't you? So she's going to say yes, and now you find an issue that you can both agree on.
The reasons we like to call them monitored smoke communicators, not just smoke detectors.
I like that. Put that in your repertoire. I like that. To determine possible objections. Exactly what I said before. You know, if they don't like something about the system and I'm showing them about it, I can say, whoops, you don't really need to use that. I don't want a 4-digit code. Whoops, you don't need a 4-digit code, do you? You can use this little handheld key fob right here to turn your system on and off. Is that what you're looking for? Yes, that is. To arouse your prospect desire. Sounds like a date, doesn't it? You know, but the idea is that you want the prospect to want what you're selling, so you have to arouse their desires. Now, because of asking questions, Tom has devised something called the security questionnaire. The security questionnaire has on it, is that 22?
Two questions.
That's a lot of questions. My suggestion is to look at this questionnaire, find 10 or 12 that you feel comfortable asking your customer, and then as part of your presentation, say, in order to design your security system that will fit your specific needs, is it okay if I ask you a couple of questions? Don't forget to ask that questions about if you were a burglar, where would you break in, because that's an important question.
Count on trying to read the survey here. I can get all of you a copy of this survey in a much more usable form. All you've got to do is send me an email and request it, and I can get it off to you.
These questions you really should be asking somewhere in the presentation, but if you take the time, make this questionnaire your own, where it says Mark Security System, put all secure, whatever the name of your company is. When you ask somebody questions, it tells that they have an interest, that you have an interest in them. Write down the answers. I guarantee you nobody else is going to be doing this, and this is what makes it different from any other company. So, security questionnaire. Still, sometimes we, take foot, insert in mouth, and so once again, this is probably something you already know, but you do not want to have a contract. You want to have paperwork. You'd be surprised how one word will turn off of a customer. You don't want to have an appointment. Who do you have an appointment with?
My doctor, my dentist.
Yeah, the doctor's going to give you a colonoscopy, and the dentist is going to give you a root canal. I don't want to go on the appointment, but I do want to get together with somebody, because if I get together, it sounds like we're going to have a much better time.
Oh, that could be fun.
Right. Nobody wants to sign anything. It's actually, but they don't mind giving me their autograph. So what happens is, when down to that mystical, magical close that everyone talks about, you say, all you need is your autograph right here, and we can get you protected against the threats of burglary and fire. Isn't that exciting? Put your pen down and then shut up. Absolutely. Nobody wants to owe anything, and nobody wants to cost them anything. The alarm system is an investment. When you invest in an alarm system, not only are you investing in the safety and well-being of your family, you're also investing in your home, because when you get ready to sell your home, it's a perk for your home. Mm-hmm. So you get a better investment for that. So, and nobody likes to be sold. I'm going to sell you this alarm system. You'd be surprised the number of dealers or salespeople say that. We want to get you protected. We want to get you involved. We want to, we want to make you happy. And you know what a PR is? No tech talk. No tech talk. Nobody wants to know what a PIR is. Nobody wants to know what you're saying. What they want to know is what the equipment's going to do for them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put something that we call a motion detector right here in the hallway, Mr. Customer. If anybody comes in and out of any of the areas that we have not protected, then the motion detector is going to pick them up all the time. Is that something that will suit your needs?
What?
Okay, you got to make selling fun. It's got to be a fun situation. If you're not having fun, the customer's not having fun, then they're not liking you, you're not listening to you. It all is going to go downhill. Selling is teaching, and so what we devise is something called the sales burger. The sales burger is this. It's your prospect's radio station. You know what the prospect's radio station is? Is with them. What's in it for me? This is what the prospect wants to know. So what you need to do is you need to take this sales burger, and you need to take every fact that you know about the system and do this for. Just start out with a simple fact like the system. Let me see. The system has a backup battery. So the customer says to you, or the prospect says to you, so what? He doesn't care. So the system has a backup battery. So bridge to that is what that means to you, so how this is going to help you, how this is going to benefit you and your family. That's the bridge. The benefit is if you lose electricity, your system is going to operate as normal. Well, lose electricity, that's okay. If you lose electricity, your system is going to operate as normal. And it will work off the backup battery, and the battery will recharge itself once the electricity comes back on. Now, the tie down is you would feel better knowing that you're protected even though you don't have electricity. And the nail down is, what Neil? It really is, Tom. This is called a trial close. You know, people always say, oh my God, I get to the end, I have to close. No, you don't. You've closed through the questionnaire. You've closed through the powerful sales burger. So my suggestion to all the salespeople out there is find the facts, the bridge, the benefits, the tie down, nail down to all of your pertinent part about your alarm system. The fact is the system has a chime system on it. And that means to you is these little children that you have here, what you want to know, if they walked out the door and you weren't around, you would want to know that, wouldn't you?
I think I would.
Well, you know, they're not going to say no.
No,
you know,
can't say
these
no.
are all. Please have the kids walk around. Nobody cares. You know, but these are trial closes. I always like to ask a question I'm going to know the answer to. Okay, objections. You know, objections are good in a sales situation. If you don't have any objections, it means you don't have any interest, you don't have any sales. You ever sat across from a prospect whose arms are folded and is just looking at you like, oh my God, will she ever leave? I have to find an objection to bring up for them so that they will talk. I need to get these people to talk. So, you know, so the prospect with a general objection is asking for some additional information, that's all. They're asking for additional reassurance. You know, we buy emotionally, and so what we're doing is we're assuring people that genuine objection is good, you know. So these objections are good. And then you tell them what you told them, and then tell them again. Now, I went to a sales seminar not too terribly long ago, and they said that you had to tell somebody some unbelievable amounts of number before they really got it. Not the first time, not the second time, not the third time, or the fourth time. So you have to keep going at this with your prospect. Just keep going after the objection. Actually, an objection, Tom, is not no. That doesn't mean, no, I'm not going to buy from you. This is what it means. It means K-N-O-W. You didn't tell me enough. So when somebody says something to you about, no, I don't really think I'm interested, let me ask you, Mr. Customer, what part of the alarm system are you not interested? Is it in the fire protection part, the burglary part, or the part where I put a contact on your daughter's window so if anyone would come up, lift up that and take your child out, you would know. What part aren't you interested in? You know, no versus no means you haven't told anything. You know, at Dymark, we do art with scripts. When I worked for Honeywell Protection Services, I was there for 3 months doing training. No matter what we had an answer for it. So these are the questions for smoking out hidden objections. So I said, no, you know, I just don't really think I'm interested. Well, there must be a reason why you're hesitating, and do you mind if I ask what it is? Play along with me, Todd.
Okay. I don't know what it is. It costs too much. It costs too much.
Well, besides the cost, is there any other reason that you have besides the actual cost of protecting your family?
Well, it looks a little complicated.
Okay, all right. So, well, just suppose we could meet the condition of the cost, then you would go ahead with it and protect your family. Find a way that's reasonable for you to protect your family on a costly way. You would do it. As far as the kind of the technology part is concerned, we have actually a panic button, so you don't have to turn the system on and off. You can do it with one key fob. The panic button is right there. So
that sounds pretty easy.
So so if we could bill you maybe on a quarterly basis, would you think that would be good enough for you to go ahead and protect your family?
Well, that might work.
Yeah. Okay. Right. You have to kind of smoke it out. Can I tell you, 99.9% of the reason people don't buy smoke detectors, but people don't buy an alarm from you is the money. That's what it is. It's the money. So the question you're smoking out is the money situation. And by the way, do they have a latte every day? You know, if you gave up 3 or 4 lattes, you could have an alarm system.
That's true.
Absolutely.
That's true.
You know, reducing it to the ridiculous. That's what that's called. Okay. Now, to answer an objection, here we go. I have it down in pat. You don't want a monthly payment? Just clarify my thinking. What is it about the monthly payment that you don't feel comfortable about? I love Bob. See where it says benefits and objection and benefit? This is something I use in sales constantly. Benefit. After speaking with you, I know your family safety is important to you. Here's the objection. Isn't it true that the monthly investment is less important than your family's safety and peace of mind? With the benefit being known your family is protected against the threats of burglary and fire. Now get down, so that's not a concern anymore. All I need is autograph on the paperwork, and you can part Make sense? I love it. I love ways to answer an objection.
Alex?
I'm named Elmer Wheeler, and I think this guy was in the circus, but he don't sell the steak, sell the sizzle. That's what this is all about. Nobody likes sold things. You have to sell what we call the sizzle. These hot buttons, these are hot buttons that we have probably found in their questionnaire. You know, now, why do people buy alarm systems from us? The first reason is they want peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what they want, peace of mind. They have a love of their family. And sometimes found out that they don't love their family time as much as they love their pets.
Ooh.
And then sometimes they found that they like their things better, you know. Let me ask you, Mr. Customer, what do you have protecting your doll collection?
Your coin collection.
Your coin collection.
Your gun collection.
Your gun collection. That's possible, yes. And, you know, this is the old, but it's true. It's keeping up with the Joneses. This is a tried and true way of selling a security system, Tom. I'm going to stop right here for a second and just tell you a story about keeping up with the Joneses. It's called clover leafing. Once you sold the system to the Mr. and Mrs. Smith, then you go next door and, here, role play with me. I'm going to knock on the door. Make sure you're home because it really aggravates me.
Oh.
Okay.
Can I help you?
Hi, my name is Donna Morreale, and I'm with Dynamite Security Centers, and I just done something terrible.
What did you do?
Yeah, because, you know, they think I've run over their dog, I've knocked down the mailbox. You know, it's to get their attention. That's what I'm looking for. Well, I just got your neighbors, Betty and Bill Smith, involved in an alarm system. So what it means to you is I protected them against the threats of burglary and fire. By the way, you will hear a siren go off as we test the system out. Also put a sign up in front of their house, a big old Dynamark sign up in front of their house that says that they're protected. Let me ask you, if you were a burglar and you were casing your neighborhood and you saw a sign out in front of their house and not one out in front of your house, what house would you be breaking into?
Well, obviously not theirs.
Absolutely. Then people say, okay, how much is the sign? And I say, well,
the sign is free.
The sign is free, and it comes along with the security system, you know.
Like it.
Yeah. So keeping up with the Joneses is important. And this is yours, Tom. Desire for modern technology. There's so much technology out there. People are so excited about that. Make sure in your demonstration that you show them the technology. Show them on your smartphone, your iPad, that they can actually see somebody coming in the front door. Show that alarm.com information that you have. People love modern technology. And the other thing is, you know, people want to reduce guilt. One of the questions I ask on my questionnaire is, do you have any latchkey kids in home? A latchkey kid is a child that comes home from school that there's no supervision. And, you know, they're 12 years old. They don't want a babysitter. You don't want to pay for a babysitter. I feel bad the kid comes home. I don't know whether Chester the molester is in the house. So in order to reduce your guilt, I'm going to provide you with a security system. By the way, you know, as we talked before, they can see the kid come in and whatever they need to see. Desire for less risk. A lot of people are just don't want their house, anyone in their house. They want to be, they have less opportunity. If they have a gun in their house, do you think they want somebody in their house looking for their gun? No, they can't afford that kind of risk. We found that out on the questionnaire by what is it that you would like to protect in this house.
There's reduction of risk.
There's your reduction of risk. And the other people is people want to save money. Who doesn't want to save money? You know, when you're selling a security system to not only a person, by the way, you can have lower electricity bills, right?
They can monitor through the interactive services. They can monitor their power consumption. They can get reduced homeowners premiums. number of different ways that they can actually spend a little bit of money to save some money.
Absolutely. And what you have to do as a salesperson is show them they're going to be saving more money than they're going to be spending, and also have that peace of mind that we're all looking for. This actually, how to paint a word picture, this is how I became successful in the industry. This is what one of the successful people told me what to do, and this is what I did. All right? You have to paint a word picture for somebody. Selling is not, somebody's strong arm, and showing them the way to why this is going to be benefit to them. You have to remind yourself of your prospect's hot button. So what is the prospect's dominant buying motive? And then you have to remind the prospect that they lack the benefits of that. And remind the prospect that the security will satisfy their benefit. Now, I'm going to do this. I'll paint a word picture for you. Mr. Kessler, let me tell you, I have a customer over on the Eastern Shore who has an alarm system, who would be a really good person for you to talk to. And let me tell you why. Remember you said one of your things that you were concerned about, reminding the prospect of their hot button, was the concern about your children being home alone by themselves. Well, what happened with this customer is the children weren't home alone. She was actually home. She was doing dishes, the mother was. She looked out the door and out her window, and there was her child, who was, by the way, on a swim team, flew face down in a pool. But I didn't know what to do. Then I remembered your security system. What I did is I went and I pushed a button. And what it is, the police came, the fire department came, my husband came, the neighbor came. It allowed me to get my child out of the pool and give them PR. And now every year I get a fruitcake from this lady telling me how much she's thankful that she thought I saved her child's life. So if you and your prospect, that they lack the benefit of the fact that their child is not protected, and the security system will satisfy the lack of benefit. This is something you have to practice a little bit, but I want to tell you something. It works really well. It just really works. We'll get down to it now. We're getting down to the close. The close is not, he's getting there. Now, sales are saying, oh my God, it's come to close. Closing is not a mystical, magical moment. The logical conclusion to a well-planned sales call. We trial close throughout this presentation without the demonstration. We've trial closed through the questionnaire. We've trial closed by the hot buttons that we've provided for them. Let's go through some closes that we can do. Now, also have the scripts for all of these. So if you need some scripts, let me know, because we can provide these for you. Assumptive close. What the assumptive close is first, and then we'll go to the paperwork close. What assumptive close is you've assumed the sale through the entire presentation. I've assumed the sale since I've walked in. In other words, I've said to the customer, well, first I'm going to show you how the system, tell you a little bit about my company, show you how the system works, ask you a couple of questions. We're going to take a walk around, then I'm going to design the system that fits your specific needs. Is that okay with you? And they say yes. And that's kind of assumptive close there. That's it. The paperwork close is when you get down, now you've got the paperwork close. Let me tell you a little bit about paperwork close. I also believe that you need to give your customer 3 choices. No one wants one choice and buy something. So the paperwork close has to be consistent of the basic system, the system that you'd like for them to buy, and the system with all the bells and whistles. I guarantee you, if you use the paperwork close with 3 different closes, and then you say, let me ask you, Mr. Customer, which one is better for you? Do you know which one they always take?
There you go, the middle, good, better, best.
Yeah, they take the middle one, and then you can promise them, which you can give them the best, because you do sell add-ons. Does that make sense? Right. So, close. I want to think about it, close. because it says they want to think about it. You get down to the bottom line of what they want to think about. We've already gave you some of those scripts in there already. So think about it, close. Let me ask you, Mr. Customer, what is it that you want to think about? You know, Tom, a lot of people have an intrepidation about asking this to the customer. But that's what you're in there for. You're in there to protect these people against the threats of burglary, fire. If I would leave and they wouldn't get I wouldn't have a sale, I would feel terrible. What are they going to do if they get broken into, I would say? As I see it, let me ask you, close, we actually gave you the script for that already. As I see it, if we could find a way to make this possible, would that be okay with you? Let me ask you, if we can solve this problem, would you close it? I mean,
absolutely.
Just one. But bringing it down to the bottom line. What bringing it down to the bottom line is, you know, it's money. It's all about money. So let me ask you, Mr. Customer, what is it that you can maybe take out of your budget every day, every week to make sure that you have enough money to pay this $29.95 a month? By the way, how much is your cable? How much is your cell phone bill? That coffee bill. You know, we really aren't asking for a lot of money. $32.95. You know, different dealers have different programs. You have to bring it down to the bottom line. What is it that you can take out of your original budget right now? Maybe it's this Dunkin' Donuts coffee latte that I have over here that you know that I paid $4.97 for.
Oh,
yeah. The physical action close. This is, you know, this is one of my favorite closes. The physical action close is, and by the way, all these closes work together with each other. I've already done, you know, the paperwork close. Here I give you 3 ideas of how you protect your family against the threat of burglary and fire. They said, oh, the middle one looks good. You put the right down there on the paperwork, not the contract, Tom.
The paperwork.
On the paperwork, and you take your cell phone out and say, I want to get you a instant date immediately because I know how much you really want this on.
You're after their autograph.
You pick up the phone, absolutely. You pick up the phone and then you start calling. They stop you. They stop the physical action that you have taken in order to close the phone. Reverse roles close. I think I've said on each one of these are my favorite closes, so I guess I can't say that. But the reverse roles close. Take yourself and put yourself into the prospect's chair. I understand how you feel. When they say it costs too much, I understand how you feel. A lot of people have said the exact same thing. You know, they found out that an alarm system, I'm bringing it down to the bottom line, can be 2 cups of latte. Ask you, I lost the thread of it, the referral. Let me ask you, if, help me here, the reverse roles. Oh, okay. Let me ask you, we would trade places right here. What could I do to actually convince you, to protect you against the threats of burglary? Because I know how important that is to you.
Or what I do to convince you.
What I do to convince you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if I leave this house tonight and you're not protected, and something will happen, I'm going to feel terrible. Let me ask you, let's reverse the roles. What do you think you could tell me, or that I could tell you that would help this situation? I took me a little time to get that out, but it did happen.
Yeah,
you know.
but them tell you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a similar situation close. You know, a lot of people have been in the same situation until they found out that the security system was important to them because they have a latchkey kid involved. You talk about the that I told you about with the painting the word picture. You know, if you don't have any stories of your own, go around to other salespeople in your office or call me. I've got 1,000 of these similar situation closes, you know, that you need, you know. My grandmother's clothes.
My favorite.
My grandmother's clothes. You know, when Tom, I had to make a decision. My grandmother would say this. By the way, this is all different kinds of things. Somebody called it the George Washington close. I said, no, my grandmother did this long before George Washington did. What are the ideas opposed that you have? Write it down on a piece of paper. On one side of the paper, you put ideas opposed. On the other side, you put the reason why. Now, you know, ideas are just ideas, but reasons are reasons. And basically, the ideas opposed are going to be the money, and the reasons why you're going to list the. There's a lot of people that love that close because you have to actually look at it. It's a visual close for them, you know. And then, of course, the what would it take close. Basically down to the bottom line here, I've done everything I could. I brought down to the bottom line. I've done the reverse roll. I've done the assumptive. I've paid close. And by the way, how many times do you think you should close in a sale? People say, oh,
Many times a day.
I have the sale until, you know when it's enough, you know, like when people put their pajamas on and getting ready to go to bed or something like that. And now I'm getting ready to leave. This is when I have my hand on the doorknob, and I'm getting ready to leave. And it's kind of called the puppy dog close. You know, if I leave this house tonight and I don't feel comfortable that you're not protected, it's anything that I could have said or done differently that would have made. And by the way, you know, you have to know before you leave the house why they didn't buy. When I tell staff going, when they left, I would have to say, why didn't they buy? The answer, I don't know. The answer is one of these. There's a reason why they didn't buy, and you have to know. Because if you don't know, how can you get better at all of this? You know? Now, never leave a no sale get together. Well, a minimum of 2 things. I hate this, but you just, you know, you need an appointment to go back. Oh, I take that appointment away and put get together. When's the time for me to get back together with you? I'll be in your neighborhood next Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Oh, you won't be here Tuesday? What about Wednesday? What's a good time for you? You need an appointment to get to go back, okay? And this is what? Referrals. If you don't have, no matter how you spell it, doesn't make any difference to me. If you don't have referrals, you're not a salesperson, all right? So these are 2 things. A salesperson came back to me and said, no, I didn't sell it. When is it time for you to go back, and where are your referrals? Okay? Now comes this is referrals. People say how I was successful in the industry, and this is how I was successful. When I first got to the industry, my boss told me this: I don't care how many systems you sell, but if you don't get referrals, you're fired.
Fired?
Fired.
Wow.
Fired. He didn't care how many systems I sold. I thought, well, that. But if you don't get referrals, you're fired. So then I did everything I was supposed to do. Keep in mind, I had 3 months free training. I mean, up at Bathurst, Minnesota. I knew what to say, where to say it, how to do it. So maybe sometimes I didn't sell. And when I didn't sell the program, I would say, well, you know, because I didn't sell it, do you have anybody that you would, you know, be interested in the threats of burglary and fire and get referrals? And they would say, well, I didn't buy your system, Donna. Why am I going to give you referrals? And I would say, you know, yeah, my boss said that I need referrals and that I have 2 children to support. So the way I thought referrals, that's not how I suggest you get referrals, but that is a way to get
whatever it takes.
You know, so I'll tell you what the definition of a referral is, too. By the way, it's not the name from somebody across the street or anything. The name and recommendation from a customer you already have is extremely satisfied, you know. Anyway, while we're talking about it, let's do the definition of a sale, too. If you did this in, it wasn't a sale. You need all the correct paperwork, which is the monitoring agreement, the concept, you know, all the things you need. You need money. No money was no sale. You also need referrals. If you come in with referrals, as far as I was concerned, it wasn't a sale. So that's how important referrals are. Now, here are the rules for asking for referrals. You have to always ask whether you sold it or whether you didn't sell it. Remember, you had to leave that no sale appointment because now you have no place to go. A salesperson without no place to go is, what is he?
The water.
He's a person, but I don't think he's in sales. You have to earn the right, which I'm going to show you how, and you have to use the WIISY method. What's in it for you? What? Okay. And referrals, because the percentage is so high. 80% of the time referrals will sell. Why do I want to go walking and talking? Why do I want to use all this shoe leather that I have to use in the beginning? By the way, salespeople, in the beginning, you do have to use that. But after you've got a customer, you have to use the referrals. By the way, I talked about changing their closing ratio. Does anyone know what their closing ratio really is?
You don't. You can figure it out.
Absolutely. Give me a call. I'll show you a cool way to figure out your closing ratio. I'll do some steamrolling for referrals, Tom.
Steamrolling for referrals. Let's do some steamrolling.
And, ask your clients to get out their phone or where they keep their important telephone numbers. It's all in their cell phone right now. Play my name and my company name in the phone under, D for Donna, M for Morreale, B for fire, B for burglary, S for fire, S, wherever you can put my name. This is where I'm earning the right to get this referral, because you see what I'm doing? I'm obligating myself to these people. I have to review the referral program. Do you all have a referral program? Of course we do.
And if don't, we can help you put one together.
Absolutely. The referral program is, 3 months free monitoring, 1 month free monitoring, a cup of coffee, a donut, a pet. I don't care what it is. You have to have a referral program. And then you go down the list of people you would like to see protected. And then I say, would it be okay if I use your name? Now, I'm going to do this for you right now. I'm going to ask you for referrals, Tom. And, after talking to you and you decided to go ahead with the alarm system, do me a favor and get out your cell phone for me.
Got it out right here.
Get your cell phone out for me. Anybody has a cell phone, and it's right there in their pocket.
The phone, the Android, they got it.
Right. And if it's iPhone 6, don't put it in your back pocket because I hear it then. Okay. Now, Mr. Customer, what I want you to do is put my name in your cell phone for me, will you? Put it under B for burglary.
Oh, wait a minute, that puts me into my address book, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, but you want my name and my number at all times, because if you have any questions about the security system, how to use the security system, if you have somebody that wants to buy them, you need my name in there. So put my name under D for Donna, M for Molly, S for fire, wherever you can find it. By the way, Mr. Customer, did you hear about our referral program? Our referral program will actually, for every name that you give me, that actually buys a security system and protects the family against the threats of burglary, fire, we're going to give you 3 months free monitoring. And you know what it means to you? Because they still work. So what it means to you, Mr. Customer, is you may never have to pay for monitoring again. Is that something you'd be interested in?
We can do that. Yeah.
So go to your phone and go down, start with the number, the letter A, and go down the list of people that you would like to see protected. Your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your aunts or uncles. You want anything to happen to any of them. Just get 3 or 4 names, or 5 or 7 or 10, 12. And for heaven's sake,
and the smartphone really makes it beautiful, because everybody just has that there. And they don't have to even go dig up their address book anymore. That used to be a pain. It's there now.
Absolutely. And I'm sure it'd be okay with you if I used your name, wouldn't it? And they say yes. And now I'm finished my sale. I'm finished my presentation, my demonstration, my question. And now I've got some place to go.
Oh.
Because a salesperson without any place to go is a salesperson without a job. Remember I told you, Tom, that 99.9% of this was not me. All from successful people that I've found that successful. So this part is from me. Well, the first part's from the Bible. Ask and you shall receive. But I can guarantee you this: don't ask, and you're not going to get a darn thing.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, guys, that's the end of this sales webinar, okay? And I hope you were helped by it, okay? Donna's got a lot of things that she can offer. One of the best things she's got that I've seen her just fill it with is a thing called her Virtual Sales Manager program, which I got Virtual Sales Manager. Wow, that was good. Anyways, the Virtual Sales Manager, she can really help drive your sales staff and produce some fantastic results. And not producing, she'll let you know you need to get rid of them. We can help you with scripts, presentations, more sales training. So there's anything that you need, just give us a call, send me an email, and we'll get you set up with it. This webinar has been recorded, and I'll get it posted. So if you guys need to access it and you want to watch it again or share it with any of your people, I'll send out letting you know where to access that. We thank all of you for joining us, We're going to be making this a monthly event. Our next one is tentatively scheduled for October 23rd. I will be sending out an email to everybody to register for it, and it's going to be about how to keep your sales up to the holidays, okay? Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's is a time when sales tend to get slow, and we've got a great webinar coming up in October to tell you how you can try and get through that and keep your sales from dipping.
We just jump in right for a second and tell you that October is Fire Protection Month, so make sure that you let your customers know it's a good referral program for you to do. Go out and check everybody's smoke detector and make sure that it's working properly. It's a good way to get into the house.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.